Hey, it's Sean and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and we're doing something a little bit different. We usually do these SMaSH beers to examine hops and taste them and talk about them. But there was some kind of deal with South African hops out of Yakima Valley, the Yakima Valley Hop Company, and they were selling a pound of a couple of different varieties from South Africa. One of them is Southern Passion. So instead of doing a SMaSH beer, I did a New England style IPA because I had a pound of hops.
Why not?
Why the heck not? So this is a SMaSH beer, not SMaSH beer, but certainly a hop examination of Southern Passion, the South African hops. This particular package that I got was a 2019 crop.
Oh, wow.
And the alpha acids on this is, it's stated on the site 11.2, but I could have sworn it was like 12.4. Let's just say it's between 11 and 12%. That's just going on memory. I got another variety, and that might be what I'm remembering in terms of the number. Anyway, let's talk about the recipe. This is a New England style IPA. And usually I use Pilsner malt, but I didn't have enough Pilsner malt to fill out the grain bill. So I think there's about almost 9 pounds of Pilsner malt. I had to fill out the grain bill. I put in a pound of 2-row American malt. With that, 2 pounds of oats, 1 pound of white wheat, and 1 pound of golden sugar that I got from the grocery store.
Cool.
Not turbinado, not white, but
just somewhere in the between there, yeah.
In between.
I love it.
It came in a 2-pound pack, and I was like, well, that's going to be easy to measure.
Yes.
So I measured out a pound and put that in with 15 minutes to go in the boil. All the hops went in pretty much either at 0 minutes to go at flame out or dry hops. I took that pound of hops and divided it as best I could into 3 equal portions. So around 5 ounces went at flame out.
Wow.
About 5.5 went in at the 3rd day of fermentation.
Okay.
And then the last 5.5 ounces went in at day 7 of fermentation. This was all wrapped up and kegged at around day 10 of fermentation. Did as best I could not to oxidize anything.
It looks great.
I did not close transfer, which everyone will tell you should do. But I purged that keg as best as possible with CO2. Did a very gentle racking from my fermenter into the keg, and then basically the last few days it's been force carbonated at like 25 psi.
Yeah.
And then I just dialed it down so I could get it into a vessel to bring over here.
Awesome.
To talk about it on camera. So, one last thing, the yeast strain I used, US-05. You know, I probably should use some of those specialty yeast strains, but I've been using US-05 pretty much for every brew that I'm making in the American ale type style, and I'm happy with it. So, there you go. So, Mr. Mike, we're here to examine Southern Passion hops. This is of the 2 that I got. This is the one that had more flavorful descriptors. So let me know what you're talking about.
Well, I think this is wonderful. This is wonderful hop. The aroma before we even started coming off it was pretty nice, but then once I really get into it, the aroma, I get like there's like a beautiful there's like tangerine. It's like lemon lime. I get a little bit of like a underripe raspberry almost in there. The flavor component is, I think I still get like a pretty good like lemon lime thing, like almost like lemon lime soda, but there's also like a little bit of like a green melon in there too, and maybe again I think I get like underripe raspberry, like almost like, you know, or like maybe even like pushing a little bit like a white peach or something sense there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, the aroma is great. Not as pungent, I would think, for as much hop that's went in, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it'll open up a little bit more as it warms up here a little bit. I should hold on to it a little more strongly. But the flavor carries through the aroma. I mean, it's pretty nice. There's like really no lingering bitterness. The thing I do like, despite all that hop, there isn't a whole lot of raw hop pellet bite here, which I really appreciate. You're
welcome.
When this style comes out and is done that way, where those hops come out this way, without that raw pellet bite to it.
Yeah, the pellet bite's not there.
I mean, if I look for it, I can taste it, but it's being masked by this wonderful bouquet of mostly citrus, but there's a little bit of like stony fruit and or berry-like quality to it. I almost get like maybe in the flavor like it's green melon, maybe almost cucumbery, but in a positive way.
Yep.
It's dynamic. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm getting a lot of like citrus rind, you know, like pithy taste, but it's like not off-putting.
Yep.
That's certainly in the aftertaste. So yeah, I'm glad I gambled because I had a pound of hops and
I can't believe you blew the whole pound on that. That's awesome.
That's the thing. Like,
tremendous.
Like, you roll the dice and you say to yourself, like, because we've done these before, we've talked about varieties, and we're like, would this work as a single hop in a bigger style?
Yeah.
I should talk a little bit about the stats of this beer.
Okay.
So 1075 starting gravity.
Wow.
And it ended at like 1012.
Oh, wow.
So
I should not be pounding it down. It tastes so good. It doesn't taste like that big of a beer.
Doesn't taste that big of a beer, but it's, it came out pretty strong. I think the late addition of the sugar helped out.
It's very drinkable on the finish, and that is the sugar. I don't care what anybody says about New England IPA and whatever, but if you haven't tried to supplement your grain bill with a little bit of sugar to dry it out to increase drinkability of this beer, you still get the mouthfeel. You can still get the whatever through the wheat, the oats, and with the proper water chemistry, but you can still dry it out, and it can still have a crisp finish. And really lets the hops come through.
Yep.
Man.
So, in terms of water chemistry, I hit it up with a Camden tablet after filtering my tap water. I did tweak it a little bit with probably 9 grams of gypsum, just to sort of get that in more of a balance. Because
did you say our tap water and then 9 grams of gypsum?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, I think I get a little bit of sulfate minerality on the back end of it, which has sort of contributed to the pithiness, I think, but in a positive way.
Okay, so with all of that, now, here are the descriptors, and I really thought we'd get more of a tropical fruit thing going on, but, this is how it came out. The aroma, passion fruit, guava, floral, and soft coconut. That's none of them.
Oh, maybe that's my limey impression.
Could be.
Right,
Could
my
be.
lemon lime
Could
impression.
Be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it turned out okay.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Do you think it's too delicate? Do you think that there's anything that's...
No, I think it's really dynamic, and I think I'm trying to think into everything that we've tasted before. What would be one supplemental hop that would really make this sing, right? I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just thinking that if people want to go buy this hop, it would be great to experiment with something else with it. I think would really make these flavors sing.
I think the only thing I thought of for this style of, it needs a little more dankness.
Yeah.
I think a little Simcoe, like a little Simcoe. If you add that flame out, or even like a little, maybe like 10 minutes to go, just to get that kind of like.
Well, I've been wondering too about making an early edition, like a small edition of something that would drive some dankness. Like if you added some Simcoe or some Chinook or some Columbus at 60 minute, not an ounce, not even half an ounce, but a quarter of an ounce, to give you some of that. Hey, there's like hop resin in here too.
Yes, okay.
I've been playing with that idea in my mind, and I'm probably going to brew one of these soon and try that approach. But I definitely hear what you're saying. I think because it's an IPA, and I love the softness and the fruit bombs, the juice bombs for this style, I love that. But we're adding sugar to dry it out a little bit, I think is great. Because it's an IPA, I love all that fruit character, but you're right, a little hit, just a little hit of what my mind wants me to recall as IPA, get a little dank resin in there too, would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the only thing I could think of, like, as I was tasting it.
I mean, barely
right
pushing,
out of it.
say, 25 IBUs worth of dank in the background, right? From 60 minutes,
Yep.
right? But I mean, but playing with it like I'm suggesting it, but also trying it as a 10-minute edition of Simcoe. You know, throw 1 ounce of Simcoe in there, 10 minutes, a traditional, and just see what you get.
Yeah.
I think might tie it together too.
Yeah, cool.
You know, it's cool.
That's what we got.
Sweet, I love it.
So there you go. So not SMaSH, but it is.
Yeah, who cares,
We answered
man?
the question of like, what do Southern Passion hops smell and taste like? And from our experience, maybe not a lot of, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. In this particular beer,
Yeah.
in this particular time, and this particular variety, like this crop year, we got a lot of like, you know, lime. I think lime, maybe that's the coconut thing.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a lot of like citrusy notes, and it's
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why
with
I
some
got,
fruit, with some like tropical fruit on
Yep,
top of that,
on top of
layered
it.
on. But
Yeah.
I think that what lingers with me is.
But it's not like grapefruit citrus, right? I mean,
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it's,
no. It's
more in that
orangey.
orangey
Yep.
character, which is beautiful. That's why maybe plowing like this with, I mean, I don't know if how you overcome a pound of this with like a couple ounces of Amarillo, but it might just be that magic, like adding a little salt to your eggs, make them taste great, right?
I would do something else. Look, I moved the mic down because people could hear every swallow, and now I'm like bumping
Are
it.
people commenting on your swallowing?
Yeah, one guy did. So it happens, you know. So now, but I'm now bumping it with my elbow, so I'm like
So now
causing
you'll get 20
another
people
problem.
saying-
Hey, can you tell the guy in the blue shirt to like raise his
his
mic?
microphone?
It's all right.
All right.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We do this every week. For John and Mike, brew-news.com. Brew on.
Cheers.